Hello, my name is Jasmine Castillo. Today I'm going to be giving a speech about Tupac Shakur. One of the many amazing things Tupac has said is, "I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee I will spark the brain that will change the world." And that's a very true statement made by one of the greatest rappers of all time. Now, how do I relate to this subject, you may ask? Well, I grew up listening to him, and, I'm sure that every black person somehow relates to Tupac, somehow, well, they have to automatically relate to him because as a black community, that's the one thing we got in common. So, as I was saying, though, um, my argument is that Tupac is one of the most influential rappers of all time, and specifically toward the black community. And my reasoning, well, reason A, he created social conscious rap. Um, B, he changed rap forever. And C, he stood up for what he believed. So, let's get into it. So, starting with my first point, social conscious rap. Tupac was one of the only rappers of his time to openly rap about subjects that weren't meaningless. Like, although, not that songs like about sex and drugs is meaningless, but he basically was never too gangster to rap about real world issues as well. Like, he wasn't didn't care about what type of reputation he had to uphold of being a thug. Like, he was able to rap about issues. An example of that is his song Brenda's Got a Baby, and that song is basically about a young girl who conceives a baby with her cousin she was taken advantage of, and it's just a very powerful song that proves my point. And also another example of that is Keep Your Head Up. He rapped about women and the struggles they face. So he was able to really be a voice of those who felt voiceless. And yeah, he basically just uses his platform to bring awareness to social injustices, systematic oppression, and just also conditions of ghettos. So, on to my second reason. He stood up for what he believed. He was never, he was known as having a big mouth and stuff because when he believed something, he was there to tell you what it was, like, straight up. And you could see that in his interviews. He was very passionate. He gave many speeches addressing social injustices. He was known as a loudmouth because of that, but in reality, he was just giving his honest opinion in interviews, especially when people would ask for his opinion. So that's what he was giving, but his words were often twisted. And despite the media portraying him in a negative light, he was always standing tall and remained committed to his values. So, on to my third and final reason. Tupac is the most influential rapper of all time. He changed rap forever. He was the start of all these rappers. They're his sons. Just gonna say that. All of them. The most influential rapper, your favorite rapper, is Tupac's son. So, he paved the way for all of them. Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, even Eminem. Those are examples of rappers who have credited him for being the reason that they even started rapping in the first place. In other words, if Tupac wasn't here, they probably wouldn't be rapping today. They themselves have said that. And he also just inspired the style of rap, like things that he rapped about, like issues, or even just like he was different than any other artist during that time. And yes, so you know, and oftentimes there is a rebuttal that people would claim that he was a very violent rapper. So in other words, you know, he's very violent. I don't see how he can be so influential when he's constantly like he one moment he'll say, "Oh, I love our women," the next he'll call them the B word, or one moment he doesn't want to be viewed as a stereotype, but he's rapping about stereotypical black things. Like, that's hypocrisy. Well, my rebuttal to that, that is his there is a strategy behind his music. He uses this gangster image to sell records. It's like way deeper than just that. Obviously, he was a rapper. Under underneath there are like the people who were helping him sell his records, like the record companies, they pushed that. Like, yes, I love that. Like, you want to be, that's when white people really, even though they don't like the violence and stuff like that, like seeing that from black people, they really were gassing him to do that because they knew that's what was going to sell records. He knew that he was being pimped out by them. He knew, okay, yeah, they're using me as a token black guy and I'm doing exactly what they want and good, whatever. Like, he understood that he was basically giving them what they wanted, but he used that to his own advantage because he described the horrible conditions of the ghettos and basically brought awareness to the help that those communities needed. So the fact that he really used his platform like to rap about things that were very like violent or harsh, but they were just the harsh realities of what people in those ghettos face. That's a day-to-day thing. So that's why so many black people could relate to his music, because it's like, all right, y'all are saying this is violent, but this is what we're constantly around anyways. So yeah, that was basically how he used his platform to like bring awareness to certain things. And so in conclusion, Tupac Shakur is the most influential rapper of all time for three reasons. As I said before, he was one of the first people to start social conscious rap, like rapping about important issues at that time. He stood up for what he believed. He was never scared to voice his opinions, and he was also a Black Panther, so like he was really like forward about that. And finally, he changed rap forever. He inspired many of the artists that we know and love today. And yeah, so in conclusion, he is the most influential rapper. That is exactly why his music is still prevalent in society today. And so many black artists look up to him. Like, so many black artists look up to him because they knew that if he could do it, they could. So thank you.